Hello guys, my name is Zyger and welcome back to another Awoken Devlog. Now it's been a while and I apologise for that, but I have just been really busy. Firstly, there is a lot of exciting things on the way and I can't really talk about it, but I've been busy with those things. Also, Devduck 46 was last week, which meant I had to spend 72 hours on that, which I live streamed and there'll be links to that in the description below. Also, just really quickly, I will be creating and uploading a proper Devduck 46 video, so stay tuned for that. And then I also had work, which is my personal work, and got Animal Crossing at the same time, which was really addicting, so I've been playing that a lot, and I apologise because Awoken hasn't been my priority for these 2 weeks. Either way, I managed to get a few things done and I will go over them today. Just before this starts as well, I'd like to say that a really lovely person decided to make some music for my game. So he made a soundtrack for the snowy environment, which is Frenza City. Now his name is Raju Bratis Das, hopefully I'm not butchering it. Anyway, there will be a link down below, go ahead and check it out. It's basically his website where he has like a portfolio and everything. Go and check him out, he's really awesome in music and he made this for me for free. And by the way, I'll play this music throughout the video so you can listen to it. Yeah. So firstly, I want to tackle the issue with the game art looking off. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, many people noticed, and I thank you for that, the game isn't pixel perfect. Now, some people noticed it, but didn't know what was causing it. Some people knew what was causing it, and others didn't notice at all. Either way, it was a really annoying thing in the game that was causing people to go mad, me included. So I decided to tackle this issue. Now, the first problem was understanding what was causing the issue. At first, I believed it was my art that wasn't scaling properly or was drawn at different scales, but I quickly debunked it and realized it was the scaling of the game that was wrong, not my art. Now, what I mean is the resolution of the game wasn't scaled to my monitor size. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me ages to fix, but thankfully I found a pretty awesome tutorial by Pixelated Pope, link in the description, that tackled this issue in a 3-part series. So I watched all of that, but unfortunately was left alone for some of the Pixelated Pope tutorial as he was using a different version of Game Maker. Either way, I managed to make it work, but things still weren't right. Now the game was being scaled correctly, but the pixels would sort of like lag back and I hated it. In fact, it was even worse than the version where the pixels weren't perfectly scaled, because the lagging back of the pixels gave a sort of nauseating effect and made me feel sick when playing it. So I spent a couple more days trying to figure this out and I managed to fix it, which leaves us here with a perfectly scaled game that will automatically scale depending on a person's monitor and resolution. Awesome. So the next thing I worked on was another NPC. Now I only added one NPC because in all honesty I didn't want to draw any more characters. Now don't worry, more NPCs will be added in the next upcoming devlogs. Anyways, this NPC is just one that greets you at the start of the town, so he doesn't include any quests or anything, therefore he was pretty simple and easy to create. The way I created him is just through an object, and the little E above his head is basically an instantiated object that appears when the player is nearby. And then for the dialogue, I just used the dialogue system that I used throughout my whole game to have him talk. And if you want to see how I did the dialogue system, I will leave a link in the description to my previous devlog where I explained all of that. Anyway, the NPC is now created, he greets you, and that's about it. I think it just makes the town look a little bit more alive. Then I wanted to work on some sort of wild area. Now let me explain what I mean. So basically we have the Frenza City here. Here you can do quests and other things, but the player still needs a faster way of grinding and leveling up. Because yes, the player can gain levels through doing quests, however, we need a faster method of doing so. That's why I created a wild area, where the player can go kill enemies, and these enemies will respawn every so often, so the player can just sit there and grind all he wants. I also ensured to make sure that they don't spawn too fast. Considering the player is weak at this point in the game, I didn't want enemies to be overwhelming him or anything. This was also simple to make, just a simple enemy spawning controller, a new room, and some cool sprites and assets to make this place look cool. Now I'm still creating more assets for this wild area, so it's under construction. But basically, I filled it with some trees, rocks, to give it sort of that wild style. I don't really know. Anyway, as I said, I will be creating more sprites, filling this area, making it look more alive, and making it look more complete. But that will also be in the next upcoming videos, or I'll just do that off stream, or off video, I guess. And the final thing that I added, well, I guess started adding, is potions. So I only made one of the potions for the time being, and it's just a simple healing potion, which basically will heal the player for 10 HP, and then once the player consumes it by left clicking, the item will be removed. I haven't added any animations, but I will in the next video so that we can see the player visually drinking the potion, as I think it'll be quite cool and it'll add that extra game feel. I also want to make the health go up gradually, as currently it's just immediately added to the player's HP. This will also mean that I probably need to increase by how much it heals. Currently it heals for 10, but I'll probably increase it to about 50 or so. And now I will quickly show you how I sorted out the resolution issues. In case you are experiencing the same issue, you can go ahead and follow the same steps that I did. Okay, so the first thing I did is I created an object called oDisplayManager. Now in the create event, we need to set some variables. These are all the variables that I set, and go ahead and copy that into your code as well. Little thing though, the ideal height, set it to whatever height you want. I want my game to be 230 pixels, but if you want it to be larger, go ahead and do that. Also make sure your ideal width is 0, because that will be scaled throughout our code. Then we need to do some pixel perfect scaling, so go ahead and copy this word for word. I'm not going to get into it, but this basically works with multiples of 4s and tries to get everything to be the same amount, height and width. Pretty simple. Then we need to check for some odd numbers. Once again, we need to work with multiples of 4s, so no odd numbers are needed. So this will basically eliminate any odd numbers, if any occur. Then I did a calculate max zoom. Now, any of the zoom features featured in this display manager, you don't need them. They are only kind of useful if you want to zoom out throughout your game. Now, I added this in for debug purposes and for testing purposes. However, when the game actually comes out, this will not be a feature. So go ahead and remove the zoom features if you don't want them, if you understand what I mean. Then we've got to check for some odd numbers. Once again, just copy this, and this once again just kind of checks if there are any odd numbers, what happens, and it kind of fixes everything. Finally, we've got to set 2 more kind of like statements here. First one is that we resize the surface to our application surface with the ideal width and height, and finally we set the window size to our ideal width. And then in a step event, I did a zoom window sort of thing, so whenever I press Z, it will zoom in or out. Well, it will zoom in and then it will zoom out if I reach max. The point is, you don't need this. Add it if you want to though. Up to you. Final thing, we need to center our window. Now this is really important because a lot of the time what will happen is your window won't be centered when you launch it. Now you can't do this in the step event because for some reason it breaks and it doesn't work, so just chuck it in this alarm right here. And that is it, it's done. All you need to do is go ahead and open one of your rooms, chuck it in here, and you only need it in one room, and then it will basically transfer throughout every single room. Whoops, just forgot to mention, make sure you set it to persistent. I stopped it from being persistent because I'm playing around with some different values in other rooms. However, make sure you press the little persistent button. And that's basically it. So, hi guys, just wanted to dedicate this little part to what's going to happen with Awoken. Now, please guys, watch this part, it's really important. I need you to watch this, okay? Basically, Awoken, some people were saying, are you going to still be working on it considering you're doing Project Jude and stuff? Yes, this is still going to be my main project. Project Jude is just something that I do on the side when I have time. Now, saying that, I will be doing semi-regular Project Jude videos. I'm working on one like currently, just trying to get some things sorted out. But yes, Awoken is going to still be my main thing. And yeah. Also, a lot of people have been talking about a beta. Now, I do want to release a beta on Awoken as fast as possible. However, in the current sort of period of time, I can't do that because the stage of the development the game is in basically doesn't make it playable. Now, yes, there's features that work, but there's nothing for the player to do. There's one quest and that's about it. Or, sorry, there's a boss as well. So, for me to release a beta, it is going to require me to make several different towns that are fully finished, but basically I want to make the game last at least like 3 hours long maybe or something before I release a beta, and I know that's a really long time with stuff, but yeah, I want to make sure that the game is in a playable stage so that when I release a beta people aren't really disappointed. Also, people are asking, will I release this on Steam? Yes, once this game is finished, I will release it on Steam, but I'll talk about that when closer to the time, because it's still going to be a while, because I'm a solo developer and it's kind of hard working on a solo project this big. Either way, I will release it to Steam. I will make it that you have to pay for it, and I know a lot of people won't like that because not everyone's not everyone's rich or anything, and I understand that. That's why I'm going to try and find a fair price for this game, and a price that is not overly expensive and it's something that most people can afford. Obviously you are going to find someone who can't afford something, because for example, at the moment I can't even afford a £10 game, but in a week I can when I get paid and whatnot. But the point is, I'm going to try and make the game released on Steam as fast as possible with a beta and as cheap of a price that I can. And in terms of like other kind of updates and things for Awoken, I'm basically trying to put in as much work as I can. As I said, these last 2 weeks have been kind of hectic, so I haven't been able to sort of work as much as I would have normally. But we're gonna be doing some exciting stuff. I want to finish, like, kind of speed through making loads of towns so the game is in a playable stage, especially with this first town, Friends of Town. I want to basically get this finished and then move on to the next one. Other than that, I'm going to be working on some cutscenes soon, and a shop system is actually something that I'm working on currently, but it's just taking quite a while because, you know, shop systems are quite difficult to kind of make, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to make it and whatnot. I'm adding new items and stuff like that, but yeah, that's the way Awoken is going to be going. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, comment down below if you enjoyed it, or if you have any suggestions for this series. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and yeah, also, I'll leave my Instagram and Twitter down below, also the Discord server. Join it, it's great, please. I'm kidding anyway. Join if you want, you don't have to, obviously. Anyway, guys, I love you all, and thank you so much for watching this video.